Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more of F1 Manager 2022. So, we're coming off a spectacular win in Spain, in the Spanish Grand Prix. So very happy with that. We're looking pretty good now in 5th in the Constructors' Championship. Lando Norris is 7th in the Drivers. And we've got a few days now until Monaco, which we're going to do in this episode. Let's take a quick look at what our current projects are at. They should be designed after Monaco. So that's when we can make a big sort of step change to the quality of our cars, really, and hopefully start pushing more regularly up the table. Quick look at our staff, just to remind ourselves where we are with this. I can't remember if we're scouting anyone. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, well, our scouts are out at the moment, so we can't scout anyone. Interestingly, Red Bull's technical chief here, Pierre Wache, is open to joining us. He looks pretty good on paper, so maybe we'll scout him at some point. Although I think we recently hired Ti Shuang, so we'll probably stick with him for a little while at least. But it'd be interesting to benchmark them anyway. So, let's proceed with the game. Actually, let's remind ourselves on facilities as well. So, we've got a few things going through at the moment. Design centre's upgrading again. We've got nearly 10 million in the bank. I think these will feel decent for the time being. It'll be all our money to do the race simulator again. So, I think we'll leave that where it is. We could upgrade the helipad again, perhaps. It's fairly cheap. Try and get sponsor money a bit more up. The tour centre is something that's worth upgrading again. It's not very expensive, and it just gives us more money each week. I mean, that's going to be up to around about £100,000 per month, or dollars, which sounds okay. Think about so we'll just make sure that we can't. I don't think we can get any more parts into development. Actually, don't have any research going on at the moment either. Yeah, we can't actually start one, so that's fine. Let's go to the race weekend. There's the underfloor. Actually, that's good. Let's rush manufacture of that actually. Where do we do that? Let's go to manufacture. That was the underfloor, wasn't it? So yeah, let's get underfloor. We'll do 2 for now, but we'll make that an emergency. So we're going to spend 1.5 million, but we'll get that today for Monaco. So that's worth it, I think. Have a quick look at the cars. So car 1, underfloor, change. So if you look on the right here, we can see the difference that it's making, and it's making quite a big difference. Top speed, acceleration, that low speed, well, the cornering as well. DRS, top speed, bit of a difference there. Dirty air cornering, quite a bit of difference actually. So I think that looks pretty good. So we've still got a rear wing and a chassis. I forget which other one we're actually designing at the moment. The rear wings. Then we've got the chassis. So maybe we'll, if we get that going now. Let's get the chassis going. So in terms of the testing, we've got a month. We've got our full allotment and a month to go. So I think if we use, say, half of it on this, maybe up to 20 days. It's 20 hours, sorry, in the wind tunnel. Whack everything up to max. So it's going to say 39 days, but we can put... I mean, we might as well put them all on it, because we can't do any other projects at the moment either. So 18 days, that feels pretty good. Quite cheap as well. So I've got a race preview. Everyone keeping a close eye on Lando Norris, who took first place in the last Grand Prix. Underfloor complete, we know that. So we'll take a look at the race prep next. Let's have a look at the performance targets. Qualifying in 10th. I'm tempted to tick that this time. With the new part, that might be something we can do. Definitely not fastest lap. And qualifying in 12th on a streak. Yeah, I think that might be doable. What I'll do is I'll take control of the qualifying as well.
Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners, from the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Saint Devote. There are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. The competition is on.
Alright, well you heard it there, so we're looking to get high up the grid, if we can. Let's look at the car parts, because I think stuff's starting to get quite worn, is it? So we'll have a look at the engine. We'll put the old engine in just for practice. The gearbox can probably... the thing about the gearbox is it's only 22%, so I don't think they'll let us use that. I think as soon as it hits 20, you're forced to replace it. So let's just... We're down a gearbox, effectively, aren't we? Car setup, that's fine. Let's push this up to 18 laps, just to try and make sure we get that feedback. That strategy is not too important. That seems fine. So let's go to car 2. Similar story. Let's put the old engine in. Look at the gearbox. 29%. I'm going to put that in because we'll probably be able to do at least one practice session on that 9%, so I think that's worth doing. Let's just do the run plan, bump that up a few laps. Because if they get the 5 out of 5 early, we can bring them in early, that's fine. Okay, so let's manage this.
Radio check.
Let's send Norris out.
Yeah, all good. Green light.
Send Ricardo out. It's a beautiful location for a track, Monaco. It's a quite difficult race to take part in, as was explained in the intro. I mean, I have played F1 driving games, and I don't get on with Monaco because it's just so difficult. I tend to crash a lot. Now, hopefully our drivers won't, but when let's leave it there, and when we come back we will see how we got on this first run in P1.
Can you give us some feedback on tools and what we can look at?
Okay, so
at the moment I'd say it's a bit of a struggle.
Ricardo's given us a rating of 27%, so we're going to call him in and hopefully do it better. Norris should be coming up soon, 21%, okay. Even worse, but let's call him in.
The car doesn't feel right.
And we will reconfigure these.
Copy.
So straights is interesting. We can whack that up as high as we can there. Traction, maybe we want to send it more that way. Cornering. Well, let's try and get oversteer back to more like that. Braking we'll maybe leave there. And the others we'll leave there as well. We do have a bit of extra stuff to play with if and when that needs improving. Let's go on to the next... Actually, let's go on to a medium set. And now Norris. Okay, pretty similar story really, so we'll whack that up there. The traction we want to try and bring back a bit. Bring that back a bit. Yeah, okay, well, let's give that a go. Let's go on to mediums. See how we got on there. So when we come back, we'll have a look at how effective that setup was.
The balance at this stage.
Everything's pretty stable. Nice one, guys.
Okay, so on Ricardo's car, we got to 88%, which is pretty good. I forgot to put Theo in again, didn't I? He's not getting any experience. But never mind, we're getting track acclimatization on Ricardo at least. Let's call him in. He doesn't need to stay out there with his cars looking all right. Speed up a little bit till we get to Norris. Be nice to 91% there, even better. So yeah, so we had quite a good opportunity there to improve our setups quite well. So we'll leave it there. When we come back, we'll be heading into P2. Okay, so it's the end of the session. 12th and 14th. We weren't really racing as such, but it sort of benchmarks us a little bit against the other teams. Roughly where we'd expect to be, I think. Didn't look at the weather before. Looking at it now, it's going to be pretty fair all the way through, so that's good. Let's just tinker with these setups a little bit here. So straights is optimal, so we can leave that where it is. Cornering, maybe we want to try and bring that in a bit this way. That's how you do that. That traction. I don't really want to move that much beyond that, I wouldn't think. Tyre camber. Do that. Maybe bring that in a little back a little bit. Well, let's give that a go. That might be an improvement. Car number 2. Again, looking pretty good. We don't need to change an awful lot here. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's all we do. Let's give it 18 again. Right, P2.
Ready to check.
Okay, radio check.
Right, well they're off. So we'll leave it here, and when we come back we'll see how well we did on this setup. I think we're getting close to seeing some results. Here we go.
How's the balance?
Ooh.
Everything's pretty stable.
Less good. We've
Copy
dropped
that.
some percent on Nakano 1. Let's reconfigure that now. Bad. So we took cornering the wrong way. Well, that's easily remedied, isn't it? Take it there. That's fine. Braking we can change quite easily. Traction I'd like to bring back a little bit. There, let's see how we do with that one. Those are back to Pirelli, okay. Let's use another soft then. As for car number 2, 94%. So we did improve on that a little bit. He's coming back to the garage already. So let's bring him in. I'll have a quick look if there's anything we can tweak here. Braking stability good. Can we nudge that a bit more? Oh, should we? Yeah, that one's very easy to nudge. Let's take that there. And that looks like it might be quite good. So we'll do that. And when we come back, we'll find out how successful we were on the second run of this session. Alright, so here we are at the end of P2. There wasn't really anything to do after I cut off the last time, but we improved Ricardo's setup quite well. Got to 97%. Lando Norris's needs a bit of work. We obviously took that particular slider in the wrong direction, but I think that's easily remedied.
Welcome back as we continue our race weekend with practice soon to finish and then qualifying hot on its heels.
Indeed. So P3 plan, I think, is to leave Ricciardo in. Don't need to do anything on his car. Have a quick look at this setup. Braking stability, yeah. So we took that the wrong way. Don't take this the wrong way. But I think that's an easy fix. I think if we do that, it might be okay on that one too. We'll send him out on a set of hards. Hopefully we have to do the one run. We'll top it up to 18 laps. Going to manage the session. So yeah, Ricciardo, you can sit.
Radio check.
Send Norris out.
Yeah, confirm. Green light.
Here he goes. And when we come back, we see how we got on.
The car is
I was about to
okay.
say, I think we're getting pretty close on Norris.
Yeah, awesome job.
So we can see here, we actually got him to 100%. So we'll call... Oh, no, he's coming in anyway. Don't do that. So we'll let him come in. And we'll just sit out the rest of the session. So when we come back the next time, we'll be in qualifying. So, into P3. Looking pretty good on the cars. 100%, 97%. Got to 14 out of 15 performance bonus for Norris, which is pretty good. His control's up to 98%. Instead of 100, so I feel comfortable calling that a percent. Certainly for qualifying. I don't know if that carries through into the race, honestly. It might do. Good news anyway. So now we're going to go to qualifying. Let's go back to the parts, because we want to put the good engine back in. ERS, we'll keep with that for now. It's not in the warning zone yet. A bit of work to do here. No, let's put engine number 2 in. Gearbox number 2. And I think we've got just about all we can out of that gearbox, to be honest. Otherwise, that looks okay. So let's go to qualifying. We might make it to Q2. Hopefully we do. Difficult to know, really. Send Norris out to begin with. Send Ricciardo out too. So I'll probably speed it up a bit for this first lap. And then when we sort of get to this final turn here, we'll whack all the settings up to max for the flying lap. I think it's quite a short track. I think it's got a lot of laps. I think it's 70-something laps, but it doesn't take you too long to get round, I don't think. Which is good. It's this bit coming out the tunnel that always gets me when I've played a racing game. That little... Is it a chicane? Whatever that is, that always catches me out. Right, so we're going to go to 1 speed. It's coming around this corner, so we're going to now go attack, push, deploy.
Prep ourselves for a push.
Attack,
Roger.
push, deploy. And let's see how we do on our flying lap.
We can push a bit more.
Cool.
We might need to do a second lap later on in the session. I'm hoping for around mid-table, like 10th, 11th, something like that. And obviously we won't know how we stack up against the others until they've done their flying laps as well. No, it might tell us what the track record is. Don't know, let's not miss the flying lap. I might do it on the cool down lap. There we go. Last turn. A little bit of straight, as much as you get in Monaco anyway. How do we do? 111? That feels alright. Track. Ricciardo 2 tenths behind. Here we go. Lap record set last year with Lewis Hamilton was 1:12.909, which is actually slower than the time we've just set. So, you know, that's pretty encouraging, I think. Got a couple of others out on the track. What we'll do now is we'll speed up the session. And when we get to about 5 minutes left, we'll... Actually, let's get fresh tyres on now. And then when we're about 5 to go, we'll send them out again. Norris is faster, second faster, well, 2 seconds faster than Hamilton, something like that, which feels like a pretty good time. That new part we put on was very good in corners, and there are a lot of corners here. I mean, look at that. 4th overall. Oh shit. Okay, let's send them out again. I forgot. Okay. Hang on, I need to pause this. It's getting out of control. Right, let's go back down to 2 times speed. So Ricciardo in 6th. Yeah, he's coming. Well, let's go down to normal speed, and we'll turn everything to all the sliders to max when he comes around this corner. Right, time to attack.
You've got the margin to push.
Understood.
Norris will do now. Let's stick with Norris. He's got the faster time so far. He's only behind the Red Bulls and Alonso
Head down.
on the first run, which is amazing. The Ferraris are nowhere. Maybe they're very fast on straights. And because there aren't very many of those at Monaco, they're struggling a little bit. But I'm speculating. They might do really, really well on their second run. Okay, last section for Danny. Can he improve on his time? No. What about Norris? Can we see out our run? Is that okay? Oh, hang on.
And big lift off.
Norris,
Okay.
it's up to
Yeah,
third.
confirm.
Update on liftoff. We do require fuel liftoff.
Understood.
Wow. Okay, I mean, bear in mind other teams are coming in to do their second laps, so you know he may drop down, but I think we have to be really happy with that qualifying session. Starting to run out of good tyres now. I can't remember if we said if we'd make Q3 or not in the sponsors' targets. Hopefully we did. Need this fuel to last a little bit longer.
Daniel, pit lane.
Yeah, Ricciardo's managed to pit.
Understood.
I think Norris is coming in for it as well.
Landing pit lane.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll see what the other drivers do. Let's
Copy.
actually speed up to full speed. Yeah, Norris is down to 6th so far. A few more to do. That's the Ferraris actually had a really good second run. The 6th, I think we have to be happy with that. 10th for Ricciardo. It's only like 0.2 of a second between them. But I'll take the qualifying because I don't quite trust the AI.
Wait a second, Johnny.
So send out Norris.
Yeah, ready to check again.
I'll send out Ricciardo.
Green light.
Danny's on medium tyre, so I don't think he's going to make it through to the next session. But we'll see. You never know. So I'll just go double speed for this out lap. And once again, as they get around to this sort of final turn, we'll change the settings. Right, let's go down to normal speed. In preparation, let's send Norris. There we go.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Okay, understood.
God, I don't know how they drive so fast around roads like this. Boggles the mind. Saw our cockpit view on the big screen up there. Still a bit to go. If we could make it to Q3, I'd be very happy with that. I can't quite remember. It might be our first Q3 if we do. Right, we're on the final section now. Get ready to turn him down.
And confirm, lift off.
Another good time there. I think that's in line with our first time on the track.
Button on.
Ricardo a little bit further behind on the mediums, but you know, I'm hopeful with those times.
Tyre set though. Look after it.
Understood.
Yeah, recharge on, please. Recharge on.
Okay, let's speed up now and wait for the other cars to come in. Let's switch our tyres out while we're doing this. Might send Daniel out on those. Norris. Yeah, maybe likewise. Feels like there's a lot of teams who aren't sort of going out and doing their runs yet. We're still second, but there's Bottas hasn't gone. Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc haven't gone. Right, we're getting towards the last 5 minutes. Let's leave it a little bit longer. Let's do it now. Send out Daniel first. Then Norris. Right. I mean, it's not a disaster, but Ocon is very close to Ricciardo's time. I mean, it looks exact. It must be down to like 10,000ths of a second or something. Why has Ricciardo got a grid penalty? I didn't see anything. I don't know. Let's not worry about that now.
So pick up the pace. pick up the pace.
Okay.
We should explain what that was. Norris coming in for the final section.
We can push a bit more.
Cool.
Like, why is that? What? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know how to see. Oh no, Norris is right behind that Red Bull. That's going to harm his time. I mean, he's 6th, so... Oh, hang on, Ricciardo is he's not got a warning anymore. So I don't know what that was. Ricciardo's coming up for the end of his lap.
So think about the lift off.
Okay, gained a spot, that's good.
Okay.
See, Russell's got that now. I don't know what that means.
On. Recharge on.
Is
Okay,
there in the way
gotcha.
of another car? Could it be that? I don't know. Right, Norris here. What have you got? Doesn't look like he improved on his time.
Recharge on.
Yeah,
So,
confirm.
what we'll do is we'll speed it up now.
Okay,
It's the end of the
the end of the
session.
session.
Ricciardo in 10th, hopefully? Yeah, so we've actually made both drivers to 3rd qualifying, which is good. So anything around sort of 110.7 is going to be good enough for first place here. But we're not getting that. But I think we're only about half a second off it, I think. Ah, we've got those again. Okay, they must have been saved perhaps for the 3rd qualifying session. Yeah, we're going to manage it again. We seem to be doing quite well on that. Send Norris out.
Very good check.
Yeah, confirm.
So we'll take on direct control when we can. Both drivers. Yeah, if we're doing like this in qualifying, it's hopeful of a decent result in the race. Hopefully in the points, that would be good. Oh, hang on. I was a bit late on this. I was daydreaming. Oh, there we go. I think Hamilton's out on the track. It's interesting how far, I suppose, bear in mind they're still the 3rd best team, but how far Mercedes have fallen in the last couple of years. Not quite sure what sparked that. On Drive to Survive on the 2020 season now, they're just dealing with COVID and coming out of that sort of lockdown period. And I think Mercedes are still the team to beat then, so that was only a couple of years ago. So not quite sure what's happened there. Ferrari seem intent on throwing the season away. through questionable choices. I think Leclerc was pretty far ahead at the top of the leaderboard at one point. How can Norris do here? Ooh, yeah, so we're about a second behind what would be the fastest time on this track. So we're about a second behind Leclerc, which is probably a fairly big gap, I would think. But you know, we'll see. Let's return to the garage for now. Stick some new tyres. I'll save these tyres. Stick those on again. And in a couple of minutes we'll send them out. Bottas ahead, which is a bit disappointing. Yeah, so okay, so we're basically ahead of Hamilton and nobody else, which is a bit disappointing. So let's send let's send Norris out again. Ricciardo, let's go back into real time. We'll double time it, and then we'll do the same thing again. Where's Ricciardo? There he is. I mean, 8th and 9th is good. I'm not disappointed with that at all. But if we can, I mean, the fact that Bottas and Gasly are ahead of us suggests that we probably could push it a bit further. All right, Norris, we're going to stick your settings up. We'll stick with Norris, but I'll just keep an eye on where Ricciardo is on the track. I think we'll put him up now.
Let's push.
Yep, understood.
Very tense. The good thing about this run is that we don't have any traffic ahead of us, so that's good. Cool, look how close Leclerc and Verstappen are. That was that 1,000th of a second. Right, last bit of straight. Look, we're on our flying lap. Stop warning me about fuel, you maniac. Up to 6th. That's good. Put this down. What we don't want to do, we don't want to run out of fuel, so...
And big lift off. Yeah, confirm.
How does Ricciardo do? Oh. Doesn't look like he beat his time.
Back it out, back it out.
Okay, understood.
Right, let's go to quick time and then we'll see where we end up.
That's it for the session.
Ricciardo in 10th, Norris in 7th. I think that's a pretty positive result. I think we can definitely build on that.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Right. So race strategy. No rain predicted, so that's good. We're going to go maybe medium to hards. Just edit that because I'm going to want to push it a little bit. Actually looks alright, that. And with Norris, I think we'll look to do the same actually. Yeah, so they're different, slightly different pit windows. We'll just send it for the first couple of laps. We're going to take on a little bit of extra fuel, actually, if we can. Just so we can run the engine a bit harder. Okay, let's go to Monaco.
It's a bit of a cloudy day for the race, but the atmosphere as ever is electric. And there's Lando Norris. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. The team. We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Okay, who are we going to stick with? We're going to stick with Norris. He's already up to 6th, which is good.
I think you were very strong out
Overtaking Gasly. I think we would hope to be able to take over overtake Bottas as well.
McLaren gain a position.
It says we're a second behind him. I don't see how that can be possible. Look where we are.
Okay, well done.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Oh, Ricciardo's got a spot as well. Overtaken Hamilton, which is pretty good. We're behind us, what's going on? Decent gap, actually. Still saying there's a big gap between us and Bottas, but I don't. It doesn't look that big to me. So 78 laps of this. Like I said, it is a shorter track. That's more like it. It's saying 300ths now. That seems more reasonable. Or 3/10ths, I should say. Less than that now. Fairly big gap between Hamilton and Ricciardo, so he's done well. Apart from the early flurry, there's not been a lot of overtaking since then, has there? As the introduction pointed out, it is a hard track to overtake on. It's just so narrow. Okay, let's push the DRS a little bit. Now back the engine down a little bit, and maybe we'll go too aggressive on the tyres. Now we're a few laps in, or a couple of laps in.
Slow down. Okay.
Update on liftoff. We do require fuel liftoff.
Understood.
I'm hoping we might see a bit of incident in this race as well. Just you know, spins, crashes, lockups, that sort of thing. I think we saw a few in the last one. But I think once we get to a couple of laps in, a few laps in, In a second, I'm going to put it up to double speed. Oh, are we going to overtake Bottas here? Looked like it for a second, didn't quite happen. Anyway, let's go to double speed now. So it looks like we've got a chance of overtaking him. Still hasn't quite happened.
We are out of DRS.
Okay.
I think we did it there though.
No DRS, no DRS, please.
Confirm.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
And you can push.
Yeah, confirm.
And slow down
So that's
now.
Norris up to 5th.
Confirm.
It's a mix of tyres. I would imagine the people starting on softs are going to look to pit a couple of times. Have a look at the director's cam for a little bit. Bottas is very close still to us. Very pretty little hairpin bend that. You opening up a bit of a gap to Bottas there maybe? No real incidents to speak of yet. Let's actually, let's just push on a little bit, shall we? All the positions look fairly stable, don't they? Like the Ferraris and the Red Bulls are just speeding away from us. Bottas is kind of holding speed with us. And Hamilton's kind of holding with Ricciardo, but we're starting to see some pretty big gaps between the drivers developing elsewhere. The main thing I wonder about, as I said, is this tyre condition. I don't think there's any way they go on, even if they went on to hards, I don't think there's any way that they'd be able to finish the race on those. Maybe push the fuel a little bit more. I'm impressed that Ricciardo's stayed ahead of Hamilton anyway. I think what must have happened to Bottas there. He's dropping really much further and further behind now. Oh wow, something's happened to our fuel. Rectify that. So let's just come down to 1 speed because I'm sure there's going to be some pitting going on now. These drivers on softs. Surely not far off. There's Verstappen. Leclerc. So we're up to the 3rd now. But our tyres are going to need pitting quite soon. We're actually in our pit window. So I think we can maybe give it 2 more laps. Bit more for Ricciardo. Where's his pit window? So I think we'll get past this pit entry line and then we'll get him in on the following lap. It's Tsunoda, 30 seconds behind Hamilton. I'm guessing he had to pit. Right, so Norris just going past. We're going on to hards. Ricardo, I think we'll let this one go, and then when we get past this next pit entry line, we'll book him in. Book him in for a pit. Book him in for an MOT. Here we go. Any second now. Right, so let's do this. Let's go on to hards. Norris is in the pit at the moment. He's come out in just ahead of his teammate, so he's coming in 5th. That's not too bad. Bottas, Gasly pitting now. So Norris is quite far behind Sainz, but then I wouldn't expect him to be particularly close. Got Perez pitting now. So these other drivers, yeah, they've gone on to hards, and they're about the same as us, so it's possible that they are intending to finish the race on those. But Leclerc and Verstappen are a bit lower than us. So Ricciardo in the pits, coming out in... Ooh, oh dear, Ricky. What happened? Okay, behind Alonso. So between the Alpines. Let's move you up a bit more aggressive. So I think that's quite disappointing. But 5th for Norris, I'm pretty pleased with that. Quite a big gap between us and the drivers on either side. Only slight question mark is over Verstappen and Leclerc, whether they're going to have to stop again. Joe, Russell and Magnussen will. In fact, they actually haven't pitted yet. So Ricciardo should move up 3 spaces when they do. Put him in 9th, which sounds about right. That sounds about right. With Norris, I think it's just a case of keep on keeping on. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, we're very happy with a 5th place finish. Oh, safety car, hang on. Pause. So, what has happened here? Let's turn... Oh. Don't need to pit, that was a misclick.
No DRS for him.
I was just turning things down to a minimum for the safety car period. Hopefully we'll get a little... oh, looks like Stroll's retired. Hopefully we'll get a little...
We just had a crash on the track.
Replay
Here's the
of this.
replay. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Ooh.
A definite collision there. That's very unfortunate.
Didn't turn on the corner. You've got to do that. So let's speed up, because it's the safety car. Let's just speed up for this bit. We're very much okay. We don't need to pit. We've only just done it. I wonder if those
Safety car in this lap.
3 aren't pitting, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. So safety car's gone in, hasn't it? So let's turn everything. Let's turn everything back up to the max for a lap or 2. See if we can get any places. Right up to Perez now. No initial overtaking that I can see. What was that? Who's that? AlphaTauri. Oh man, that slowed us right down. That must be Schumacher. Now he lets us past. I don't suppose you're going to hold up Bottas as well, are you? Well, Ricciardo's gained a place. We'll see a replay of that when we get the chance. I think he's gained... No, just the one. Nope, gained 2. Let's pop over to Ricciardo, so we're not going to get a replay. So he's battling a bit here with Alonso and Ocon. Oh, we've got... It's Schumacher holding him up now as well. Give Ocon a chance to get past. Bloody Schumacher. Okay, 9.5 laps of extra fuel. Okay, well Ricciardo is still in the mix, and also these cars are going to have to pit at some point. Joe, Russell and Magnussen. And he's within a second or two of all of those. We're keeping up, well not keeping up with, but we're, you know, within touching distance of Perez, which is quite nice. Might turn the tyres down a little bit, we don't want to burn through them.
Slow down. Confirm. And DRS is disabled. DRS disabled. Confirm. And you can use DRS. Good lap.
Wow, we just got the fastest lap there. It's 3 seconds slower than qualifying, but I guess we're on hard tyres. Over halfway through the race now. Things seem to have settled down again a little bit after that safety car, so let's just speed things up a little bit here. Oh, those cars, they're not pitting, are they? They must do it soon. I think Ricciardo's lost another space now. Hopefully he gets up to 10th as and when those pit stops happen though. Norris doing well. He's dropping back on Perez, but he's gaining over Bottas, which is good. Tyres wise, I think we're doing fine. I think we're on track. Oh, there we go. They're pitting now. So Ricciardo up to 10th. Catching up to Ocon as well, actually. Let's balance him out. Norris over 10 seconds ahead of Bottas now. I feel like Ricciardo could catch Ocon, but hasn't quite done so yet. Let's push his fuel again. Let's push Norris's fuel as well. What have we got? Sector 2 yellow flag, is that?
Sounds like there's been a crash. We can take
Carlos
a look
Sainz.
now.
Let's have a look.
Okay, here's the Ferrari.
Ooh, a bit of a spin.
And that's an off.
Doesn't look terminal. We've actually overtaken him. We're 4th now. I wonder what condition his car's in. Oh, his tyres got down to 15% on his softs, so yeah, he's definitely going to have to come in and pit for those. So looking pretty good for us then. I mean, it's possible even Ricciardo might be able to. Well, I don't know if he'll overtake Sainz, but catch him up anyway. No one's gained on Sainz yet. I'm sure that'll change. There we go. Bottas has overtaken Gasly. Is he out of the pit now? Yeah, so he's now 7th, 20 seconds behind us. With 18 laps to go. Slightly concerned about the tyres actually. Let's. I don't think we need to thrash them quite as hard as we are.
Confirm.
Sort of looks like it's on course, but I mean, we're 13 seconds ahead of Bottas, so you know, that's fine.
Understood.
I'm trying to get Ricciardo a bit closer. I mean, he's only just over half a second off Ocon, which is not too bad.
We are out of DRS.
Understood.
Well, following up a first win with 4th place would be very strong from Norris. We'll look at the director's view for a little bit. In terms of the standings, holding pretty steady, 3.5 seconds behind Perez there, 13.5 ahead of Bottas, so fairly secure here in this 4th place that we're holding on to. Ricciardo's still in 10th, but he's still that kind of half second behind Ocon, kind of holding steady on that as well. Hamilton's fairly close behind him, so you know, there's a chance that Ricciardo won't finish in the points, so there's a chance he might get 2 points. 16 laps now. Let's speed up again a little bit here. I don't think we're in for too much drama. Just keeping an eye on Ricciardo. He's getting within spitting distance of Ocon, and then Ocon just pulls away. It's toying with him. Weather still dry. Not much to report there in terms of the conditions. Oh, Sainz is catching up. Remember, he was 20 seconds behind, and now he's, what, 15, 16 seconds behind? We don't have Danny to block this time. We'll have to hope Bottas does it. 5 laps to go. Let's put the engine up a little bit. Or 6 laps, rather. Right, within 5 laps now. We'll do one more lap, and then we'll come back to normal speed. There we go. So, 3.5 laps to go for Norris. Tyres on 38%, which is starting to look not great. I might put him onto light. Ideally, we want to keep that above the 30% degradation point.
Just look after this tyre set though, look after it.
Okay, gotcha.
Apart from Verstappen, we've got the lowest tyre degradation on at the moment. Fuel's still looking good though. I like taking that bit of extra fuel. I know it makes the cars heavier, but I just like being able to, you know, just thrash it a bit more if needed, but rather than sort of conserving it. Going slower because of that. So this is going to be laps coming up to the penultimate lap. I think Sainz has run out of time to get his place back. The tyres are not too bad actually.
Understood.
So it doesn't look like a podium for Norris, but yeah, first and then fourth. I think, especially in Monaco, I think we'll be pretty happy with that. So the Mercedes being the solo down, sort of Russell's sort of dropped to that point, but just below Hamilton now. That's his final lap?
2 more laps.
Oh no, 2 more laps. Okay. So it's obviously just where the car is at the moment. Nice scout, George Russell. He seemed like a nice lad on Drive to Survive. But I think he's also a better driver than he's currently showing in that Mercedes. A lap and a half to go. It's nice having that big gap to Bottas. It's, you know, you can relax a little bit. Not too much because, you know, we might spin or whatever, but hopefully not. Norris's control is actually very, very high. What was it, about 96% with the bonus or something? Okay, Leclerc's just started his last lap. Ricciardo is actually very close to Ocon now. Why don't we... Let's just really push it for the last lap.
Okay, understood.
Let's flip to him as well. There seems to be a bit more going on here.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Okay, understood.
It seems very unlikely, but you never know.
And last lap, last lap.
Come on, let's attack it for the last lap.
Caution on the battery.
Okay, understood.
Anyway, Norris coming up to the final few turns for his fourth place. And this feels just a bit more justified. So in Spain, we were relying on other teams pitting more times than us. Whereas this is like, no one's pitted more than anyone else. Certainly not in this part of the leaderboard. So this is just on merit.
Leclerc! Charles Leclerc is today's winner.
Here we go, last bit of track for Norris. Confirming his fourth place finish. Carlo's running out of time a little bit here, I think. Oh, we're so close, but what can you do? Yeah, he's just pulled away now for the final bit of straight. Probably saved his ERS. There we go, but 10th, that's fine.
Okay,
I mean, it's only a couple of races ago. 10th would have been a very good finish for us, the one we'd have been pushing for.
Yeah, we'll take it, mate. Fail 84, please, mate. Fail 84.
I wish I knew where that was. Still, no, very good race, very good race. And one, as I said, was more on merit than luck, really.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him.
Team seems happy.
A fantastic result for McLaren there.
The whole team was absolutely on their game today, and the result proves that.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructors' standings.
Ooh, very nice. So there we go, confirmed. Fourth place, Ricciardo in 10th. In terms of the drivers, Norris has moved up a position. He's in 6th now. There are constructors. I'm guessing we already were 4th. We must have been. Yeah, I think so. But we're aiming to finish in 5th is the board's target, so we're exceeding our board target at the moment, which is nice. How many points did he get actually? Norris got 12. So yeah, I think we have to be pretty pleased with that. We're not that far behind Mercedes. Sorry Theo, I promise I'm going to get you in that, in that practice seat at some point, if I remember. Again, unfortunately we're having to pay out quite a big bonus to Norris, but 3.2 million in, it's nothing to be sneezed at. Rear wing designed. So we have 11 days now, so let's go into that rear wing manufacturing. If we just choose 2, I mean we could even go normal speed and we'll get them in time. Let's do the full run of 4 though. We'll get both of those before the deadline, so that's good. Do we actually not? Oh, because we just finished one, haven't we? So what else do we need on our car? Let's have a look. Chassis is the last one to do, isn't it? So okay, so we'll get one of those going. Oh no, we're designing one. There. I mean, any of these bar the suspension, really, I suppose we could do another front wing. I suppose we just use up the rest of our hours. But better use them than lose them. Push everything to the right. So we can see here that it's a little bit faster on top speed and acceleration. The main benefits seem to be in the dirty air cornering, brake cooling, DRS top speed. It's not a massive increase, is it? But it is an increase, so that's still good. We've only got 4 engineers spare, so we'll do that. Let's rush it a little bit. 1.6, that's fine. So we'll look at the stuff in rear-wing design, post-match review. Everyone's talking about McLaren as they exceeded everyone's expectations, placing in P4 of the Constructors' Championship. Exceeding expectations here. Fantastic race. Confidence has grown quite a bit. Lando Norris defending could improve, or we've actually got a development point here, so it does seem like the obvious thing to increase, as he's doing pretty well everywhere else. Four-year contract, I was going to say, we want to keep him around. Have a quick look at the board, confidence. So delighted with the last couple of races. Medium overall, where it says 5th or above. Well, it's, okay, 5th or above, so we're on target. We're actually 4th. But that's good. That's good stuff. All right, well, we'll leave it there. So thanks very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. When we come back next time, we're going to be heading to Baku. which, yeah, should be quite interesting. See if we can push even higher up the leaderboard. So I'll see you then for more F1 Manager 2022. Bye for now.